All right, so one of the key things I want to get established here now as we start to kind of ramp up and get into the course is just the overall theme of things. So that way everything will hopefully make the most sense. I'm going to use this as kind of my teaching tool. I think that at least for me in my mind, analogies and kind of just using pictures and descriptions of things is a good way to learn. I'm not sure what the exact term for that is, maybe learning by association or something like that. I don't know, but this is the way I always picture it, and it's a way that helps keep me disciplined. So the theme of the course is, of course, volcanoes, and that's why it's called Volcano Trading. So let's just hop right in and establish kind of how things are going to be broken down. So the goal for me is to turn you into a chart geologist. That's what I want this course to do for you. So, but first, let's just establish what is a geologist. And like I said, I know you didn't sign up to learn about science. You learned about all this in 5th grade, but bear with me here. I promise this all has a point, and it'll be a very short amount of time here for the video. But anyways, so what is a geologist? That's just simply a scientist who studies the solid and liquid matter that constitute the Earth, as well as the processes and history that have shaped it. They study earthquakes, volcanic activity, there's the key word, and then you can see all those other things, and their studies are used to alert the general public of the occurrence of these events. Now, we are here to become chart geologists. So what exactly is a chart geologist? That is a trader who studies stock psychology that constitutes the technical chart, as well as the prices and movement that have shaped it. And what is chart geologist? What are we trying to do? We are studying breakout potential. Their studies are used to alert themselves of the occurrence of these events. So we're just looking to figure out where breakouts have potential and then alert to ourselves. Maybe if you're a member of the private trading group, alert to others. But at the end of the day, it's all about our portfolio. So we are looking to find these potentials so we can alert them to ourselves. Those are the little minor differences there between the geologist and then the chart geologist. So volcanoes actually have 3 categories, and the 3 fall into extinct, then there are dormant, and active. And then when, as traders, breakout technical analysis, there are also 3 categories. There's an extinct setup, a dormant setup, and then an active setup. So that's what we're going to be learning about in the course, are these 3 separate areas and separate types of setups. So extinct volcanoes in the world of geology, these are volcanoes that scientists consider unlikely to erupt again because the volcano no longer has a magma supply. I think that is the same as the lava. And they're also, volcanoes are often considered to be extinct if there are no written records of its activity. So if it's never exploded and had a volcanic eruption, then there's no written activity, then that's another way that it's considered extinct. Now, from the technical analysis standpoint, the chart geologist standpoint, extinct volcanoes are charts that traders consider unlikely to break out anytime soon because the chart has no longer has any favorable attributes. These chart setups are considered to be extinct if there are no visual records of potential breakout. So for these, because of course a chart can always break out again. So there's going to be a little disconnect here between this analogy, but you get the point. For us, an extinct one is there's just really no chance, there's no likelihood for the time being that the chart is going to break out or anything like that. So it just simply doesn't have any favorable attributes to us. And that goes along with the visual records. If there's visually nothing going on that we like, then we as chart geologists and traders, we're just going to move on to something that's more favorable. So the next category of volcanoes is dormant volcanoes, and in geology this is actually difficult to distinguish the difference between an extinct volcano and a dormant volcano. Volcanoes may remain dormant for a very long period of time. In technical analysis, we have the advantage. It is very easy to distinguish an extinct setup from a dormant setup, so that's something that we certainly have in our advantage. And the chart setups may remain dormant for a long period of time. So just because a setup is not extinct, it may just still be dormant and may not really give us what we're looking for, really ever. It could just be one that stays dormant, but at the same time, the potential is there because it's not extinct either. And as we go on, you'll figure out what I mean by all these terms. But for the time being, this is just what I'm trying to establish here, where there's the 3 different categories. And then finally, we have active volcano. So in geology, as I'm sure you're guessing, a volcano that is erupting or likely to erupt, meaning it's showing signs of unrest, such as unusual earthquake activity or other things like significant new gas emissions. That's what geologists consider an active volcano. Us as chart geologists and traders in the world of technical analysis, a chart that has broken out already or is likely to break out, meaning showing signs of favorable chart attributes, such as, well, that is what this course is all about. So I'm not going to go into any of that. The whole course is going to be about these dormant and active volcanoes. Dormant, as we'll learn, is a little bit more risky, but it's also, since it's more risky, it's a higher reward. But at the same time, the active volcanoes are going to give us those potential because things are already starting to go in our direction. And I'll leave it at that. That's what this whole course is designed for. So there's no need for me to keep trying to explain things here when we have plenty of time to do that. So your chart geology degree, I mean, when you probably bought the course, you had no idea that you're going to get a degree here in chart geology, but you are. So upon graduation day, when you've completed this course, you will know how to do these 5 things. You're going to know how to distinguish between extinct, dormant, and active charts. You're going to understand where to be searching. You're going to understand what tools need to be used. And then, of course, just because you have the tools doesn't necessarily mean that much. But with this, you'll know how to use those tools, and then you'll know when to take action, monitor, or just discard the chart because you really have no use for it at the time. So that's the theme. That's the analogy that I want to use. To me, a breakout is like a volcano, but at the same time, when you're searching for a breakout, you don't want to put your money in something that's just not going to produce a breakout or really doesn't have any attributes that would lead you to think there's going to be a breakout. So in my mind, I always say, I want to put my money in dormant volcanoes that are looking like they're starting to wake up, or ones that have already woken up and they're already moving. But as far as extinct volcanoes go, that's what we want to avoid. So that's what I have for this lesson. Hopefully you're not shaking your head thinking, what did I get myself into? But I know some of you and myself personally learn best from analogies, so that's the purpose of this. If you choose to just kind of blow off the whole volcano analogy, no offense taken, but I wanted to at least offer it out there for those who are like me and like to have some sort of real world association. So let's hop in and get started.